All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So the Pittsburgh Steelers this season are going to look so much different, and it's mainly because of the quarterback position, but nonetheless, they've still made an abundance of moves, some of them bigger than others. Guys like Patrick Queen, the Pro Bowler, coming on over from the Baltimore Ravens to play for divisional rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got your quarterback. You also got another quarterback in Justin Fields. But folks, all Pittsburgh, in my opinion, really needed was a competent, reliable, efficient, and effective quarterback. Last year, they went with three different QBs, right? Kenny Pickett ended up getting injured. They fired Matt Canada. Kenny Pickett has the best game of his career the game after it, but unfortunately, he does get injured, and you got to run with Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. And folks, they threw for a combined, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room last season threw for a combined 13 touchdowns. Russell Wilson last year, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was top 5 in touchdown to interception ratio in the National Football League. They also picked up their offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. Folks, Russell Wilson, I get it. And by the way, we're going to talk about this in just a second. I understand they have needs. They have holes, specifically the center position, specifically the wide receiver depth position, specifically the cornerback room. They will address this in the draft, and we're also going to talk about some potential free agency moves that Pittsburgh could make. But folks, Russell Wilson, grown man, the leader of your locker room, of your offense, and of your team. Folks, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, their quarterback room, it was the 28th ranked offense. It was the 27th ranked passing offense. They threw for a combined 13 touchdowns. You haven't won a playoff game in way too long, and that is about to completely change. Russell Wilson, more efficient, more effective, leader, mentor, role model. He's just a grown adult in the quarterback room. And before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We post a ton of Steelers videos on this channel. Steelers fans, love you guys as always. We are losing our voice here, so bear with me. Hope you guys had a great Easter, though. It's now the month of April, and we are less than a month away from the NFL draft. Pittsburgh so far this season, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kyle Allen, Cordell Patterson, Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, Dean Lowry, Patrick Queen, Dante Jackson, Deshaun Elliott, Cameron Johnson. They made a multitude of different moves. And all those stats I just gave it to you, 13 combined passing touchdowns in the quarterback room, the 4th worst offense, the 5th worst passing offense. They went 10-7. It's just incomprehensible to me that Pittsburgh, with all the dysfunctionality, all the inefficiency, and just unreliability at the quarterback position last season, it's just baffles me that they ended up going 10-7 with their 3rd string quarterback making the playoffs. It's just that impressive. And speaking of the defense real quick, because we're about to switch to the offense because that's what's important, their defense is a strength, and they only got better this past offseason. I know you did end up losing guys like Patrick Peterson, but you picked up Dante Jackson, trading away Deontay Johnson, a disgruntled Deontay Johnson, and you picked up a position of need, the linebacker room, Patrick Queen. And we're about to see how funny all the salty Ravens fans, nothing against Ravens fans, I got a lot of family in the Baltimore Towson area, but you get what I'm saying here. The only people nitpicking the Patrick Queen move, I don't even know why or how you can nitpick that move. Ravens fans upset about him. This defense, the 6th best defense last season, highlighted by guys like TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. It gets even deeper with Larry Ogunjobi. Joey Porter Jr., off the dome, Minka. They're that good defensively, right? So all the question marks come at the offense, mainly at the QB position. But now that you have your QB position solidified with Russell Wilson and or Justin Fields, you need more help. I know they need a center. We'll deal with that when the draft day comes. They're going to find their center. They're going to find a cornerback, and they're also going to find a wide receiver. But I did find it interesting. PFF wrote an article, Dallas Robinson, about Michael Gallup and why the Pittsburgh Steelers were the best fit for him. So I get it. Van Jefferson, intriguing. Quez Watkins, intriguing. Cordell Patterson, mainly for the special teams. They still need help. You still got Calvin Austin. You still have George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington at the tight end position, Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. They have a lot of weapons offensively, but I do need just a more solidified wide receiver 2/wide receiver 3. And, we've been talking about Tyler Boyd, but they don't want to pay a quote unquote wide receiver 3, $8 to $9 million annually to be wide receiver 3. So Michael Gallup hasn't been the same player. He tore his ACL in 2022, but in 2019, he did have a 1,000-yard season. If you sign Michael Gallup, you're still going to draft an early round wide receiver. Now, I don't think there's a world where Pittsburgh drafts a wide receiver in the first round. I think they're definitely going to go either center or cornerback, but this is a reportedly extremely deep wide receiver draft class. So I think they're going to draft at least one wide receiver. Now, you did pick up, once again, Van Jefferson, and then about a week and a half later, you picked up Quez Watkins. The issue with both of those two wide receivers is last season, they combined for only 351 receiving yards. All right. Gallup last season, 34 catches, 418 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, if you sign a Michael Gallup, it's not going to, dramatically change the Steelers' win total from like 10 games to 11 games single-handedly, but it is going to give you a 27-year-old athletic prime wide receiver, a veteran who's been with the Dallas Cowboys since he's been drafted. And we heard on the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, sorry, I'm going to butcher this name, Ray Fittipaldo suggested during an interview on 93.7 The Fan that both Van Jefferson and Quez Watkins might not be on the Steelers' final roster in 2024. Now, Gallup, on the other hand, has posted more than 400 receiving yards in all 6 of his NFL seasons. And once again, neither Quez Watkins nor Van Jefferson have had at least 400 receiving yards since 2021, 3 years ago. So change is coming at the wide receiver position. I think it's going to be a combination of free agency and in the draft. The question to me just kind of becomes, who's it going to be? Is it going to be a Tyler Boyd? Is it going to be a Michael Gallup? And when's it going to come? Is it going to come after the draft class when they pick up a center, they pick up their cornerback, and then they pick up a couple of wide receivers, maybe in the second round, maybe in the third round? You get what I'm going at. And then you go out there and you pick up a Michael Gallup. But just be on the watch, because Pittsburgh needs another wide receiver. And if it's a rookie, rookie can certainly come in, and they do every single year come in and put up 500 plus receiving yards. I would still like to have this, veteran dude in the wide receiver room. We got to take it with a grain of salt, because that was the hope and plan with Allen Robinson last season, and that was just a colossal failure. But you can dive deeper into it. Kenny Pickett throwing just 6 touchdowns, averaging like 200 yards per game, and Matt Canada being fired, and all the changing moves at the quarterback position and just the offense in general. So, we got to take that with a grain of salt. But I do think a guy like Michael Gallup and Tyler Boyd would be very beneficial for Pittsburgh. I think they should make a move for that before the draft, and then still take a draft a wide receiver early on. So that's it for today. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But most importantly, Steelers fans, let me know what you want to do at the wide receiver position.